There. Okay, it's recording now.
All right. So welcome again to all the coaches on Lee's team, Team Phoenix. Lots of faces up there, lots of new people. That's awesome. Congratulations and welcome, you guys. So tonight we wanted to talk about, well, first off, I wanted to say something about, is everybody on a fall classic team? Jessica, you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You got on one. Okay, cool. Lee's on one, I'm on one, and hopefully if you guys are watching this as the replay, you are on a team. I know that Elizabeth and Hope are on my team. I don't know if any of my other coaches were jumped on it and got on it. I think a few of them were, and Lee, I'm sure some of yours were too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited about that, especially since they're doing the 3-team thing. I haven't done it where they've done 3. I guess that's brand new, maybe, because it's always been 5. But
I think
it's too late to get on a team
it was
now, but
2 or 3.
was it?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it'll be good because, you know, I'm looking forward to it. So if you didn't get on a team, that doesn't mean that you don't push as hard as you can, because November is, you know, if you're a new coach, Jessica, like October, November, and December, if you're working your business, I've told all my coaches this, it's really weird. You really have to work. You really have to be consistent and stay consistent with your own journey, because people are watching you, and it's a very weird 3 months. Like this is my 3rd holiday season, I guess, going through as the coach. And it's either people are all in these months or they are off the grid. And those who are all in are going to be amazing. And those that are off the grid are off the grid until January. And that's just, when I was sending out my invites last week and the week before, like so many people, I'd have to look back at my list, but I have so many notes for January. So I'll be touching base with them in December, but it's a weird month, so don't let it get you down and discouraged if you're inviting. And even with the free challenges, people, they'll either commit or they won't. And, you know, everybody likes free around the holidays, but so keep that in mind and go for it. But yeah, so Fall Classic should be fun and interesting. One of the other thing that I want to talk about before we dig into the big topic, Lee knows because I texted and called and Facebooked and freaked out about, for those of you who don't know, we moved, I think we've been here for 2 weeks. I don't know. It's all a blur. But the last few months we've been redoing my grandmother's house that she was in for 15 years. She was 98 years old. She passed away in January. My mom and I basically had to clean everything out, go through every single thing because she didn't throw anything away. And we've been doing that since July or August, maybe August. And so anyway, we moved from our old place into this place, and we painted, we did cabinets, we've ripped up the sink in the bathroom, we've done the flooring. Like, it's just been a project. So October for me, along with all that other going on and the actual move, we moved for about 2 weeks, bringing stuff a little at a time and then unpacking and then having the girls, and the business and work and life didn't stop. All that said, I made my everything else a priority and not my business. So October 22nd, I sat down and realized I had Success Club 0 because I had a return. Usually by the 22nd of the month, I'm at least at 6. And I kind of had a moment where, I mean, it was all my fault because I hadn't been inviting consistently. I was posting, but I was posting 1 time a day, maybe 3 at the most. And some days I just, wasn't doing hardly anything. My workouts were failing. My nutrition was completely off. So that product that we preach, it's a vital behavior. I wasn't doing it. So it was super hard for me to get on social media and preach, and get on there and tell everybody else to do it when I wasn't doing it myself. So that's the first thing. Those 3 vital behaviors are there for a reason. And if we're not doing them, we're not going to be in the mindset to help other people. And, and I don't know about you guys, but if I were to be posting stuff like that, I would have felt this overwhelming guilt because I had just had Hungry Howie's pizza that day. So I tried to post motivational stuff, that came from my heart because I was frustrated and still kind of have a presence, but it was really hard. So that being a product of the product and taking care of yourself first, don't let that go, no matter what in this business. And then second, my inviting completely didn't happen. I basically was just answering messages that people were sending me. And I'll just have you guys know, I hate admitting all this because I'm a leader. I'm a diamond coach. I shouldn't have even gotten to this point, but it's kind of like I told my team, and opposed, it's just life. I let it happen, and, you know, I allowed it. So moving forward, fail forward. Anyway, October 22nd, and sitting at 0, I got out my list. I got out my binder. I got out my notebook. I got out everything from like the beginning of the summer, May, June, and I started making a list. And I went through my inbox and I started contacting people. There were a few that had fell through the cracks just because, you know, it gets busy when you're working with so many people. Contacted them. I invited. I messaged them. Lee helped me craft the message because my brain was mush, and helped me kind of send out a general invite. And then I tweaked it to them in our conversation and the goals that I'd already chatted with them about. One day I sent out 17, another day I sent out 16, another day I sent out 11, another day I sent out 4, and I think the other day I sent out 2. Out of those, I got 3 challenge packs. 2. I can't count my sister because she ordered, but she wanted it anyway. So really 2 challenge packs out of all of that. So over 50 invites maybe in the matter of a week. My point is, I just don't ever give up. And another, work from your list. We talk about that list in Coach Basics, and we talk about it all the time in our pages. If you don't have a list and you're not working for a list, if I wouldn't have had that, I would have been completely that would have been it. And the big deal about Success Club for me, it is a non-negotiable in my business. It has been this was 17 months. I was Success Club All-Star, which means Success Club 5 or higher, for 12 consecutive months. And that was a big deal for me. And I didn't even realize that I was doing it. And then when I realized it and we got recognized at Summit for it, I was like, okay, I'm going for All-Star Legend, which is 24 months at Success Club 5 or higher. There's also Success Club 10. So anyway, for me, this was non-negotiable. For me, it was, I could have sat back and said, forget it, I'm done. Like, I quit. Who cares if I've already had all these months of whatever. It's, you know, life happened and we moved and whatever. That's not how I am. And that's not how a leader acts. And that's not how a diamond coach acts as a leader. And, you know, with all you guys on the team. So I got off my butt. I stayed up late. I got up early and I worked. And what I realized from that is I should be doing that many invites every single day, actually. And it's not that hard, especially if you have a blanket, you know, if you use the Coach Tools website that we have and the Coach Basics and all the scripts, if you just do that and tweak it to sound like you, just shoot them out and don't even think about it. And that's kind of the point I got to too, because I'm like, this is a non-negotiable. My heart's in it. I know that, you know, my goal is Success Club 5, but another thing is my challenge groups mean a lot to me. Like, that's one of my favorite parts, because seeing these women transform, and I didn't have them. Like, I didn't have the new people in those groups. And so that was a big deal. Anyway, don't give up. And as of today, as of yesterday, I was at Success Club 3. So those are paying off already. I've got 4 other challenge packs that are in the works. They'll end up purchasing and getting in my end of the month or December group after this. So all that to say, I just want to encourage you guys, because it was the 22nd, 23rd, and I had a week to do my thing, and I did it. So you just got to put your mind to it and put your head down and go, and not even think twice. Because if you have a goal, it's just kind of like your workouts. If you want to lose that last 20 pounds, 10 pounds, you're not going to skip your workouts. You're not going to eat pizza for 5 days in a row. You're going to get up and you're going to push and you're going to do it because you have goals. So, and just, you know, the inviting thing, I know for some of the new coaches that may be listening, for me, like, was really sensitive about sounding salesy and just shooting out these blanket invites. But I'm telling you, it was so much easier after I hit send and after these people wrote me back and said how much they appreciated the offer. So, I mean, 8 out of 10 times, people are going to tell you that thank you regardless. And I had a few that ignored it, but their seeds planted and they'll come back. So just my word of, I told Brian, my husband, I told him, that last week that I was pushing through, I said, the thing that keeps coming to my mind is punch fear in the face and just do it. And that's exactly what I did. So anyway, just hope that encourages you guys. And remember that as we're going through these holidays, and the no's are good. They will come around.
Mm-hmm.
So Lee, do you have anything on that? Because I know you've had some months too or do you want to add to it, or
well,
move on?
last month for me was pretty hard, and I was still trying to pull my rear end or my head out of my rear end this month. And so I actually didn't get started until the middle of the month, and I did pretty much what Amy did, and I just got out my list and I started inviting, double the amount that I normally do, and everything just kind of fell into place. And you just really do have to get over that initial fear in your head, that people are going to tell you no or be mad at you, because 99% of the time they're not mad at you at all. And then just follow up with them. And so, it ended up working out really well this month for me, just by doing that. And I thought I was being pushy a couple times with somebody. But she actually ended up purchasing right at the end of the month, which got me to 8, which I was, shocked. I thought for sure she was going to be mad, like, stop bugging me. But I think if you just approach it, naturally, and just say, hey, I'm not trying to bug you, just, an FYI that the sale may not last through the month or whatever. They do appreciate that because they know you're trying to help them. So, but, the main thing is to get through your head fear about certain things and just keep plugging forward. So,
yep. Which is hard to do because it's taken me, it's a daily work in progress. That's where that other vital behavior of the personal development comes in. It is so vital. Mm-hmm. I told Lee, and I told a few of you, or I'll post it on my Facebook, if you're struggling with anything, like, I don't know, if you just need some therapy, or if you've ever thought at any point in your life that you need therapy, I would read Unlimited by Jillian Michaels, another fitness guru. Y'all probably all are familiar with her. Mm-hmm. I'm halfway through the book, and it's been less than a week. And our upline coach, Nicole Jones, actually recommended it to me. And after we did an assessment and back and forth, and it's incredible. Like, I just ordered it for my husband, so he's going to read it because we've had some issues. And I said, well, this is going to be our counseling. So you read it, I read it, and we'll go from there. But it teaches you how to get out of your own head, and it teaches you why you feel. It brings to light the reasons that you feel that the fear or the rejection or whatever your issue is in your business and your marriage and your relationships, in your day-to-day things. Like, it really helps bring to the surface why, and she shows you how to deal with those things. So it's not deep or anything. She's just no nonsense. It's really good. I could go on and on about that. I'll stop. Okay. So yeah, it's like, I should have read this book 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have had so many things happen, but.
Yeah, you may not have listened to it either. You might have been like, yeah, I don't need this.
Yeah. Crazy. It would have prevented a lot of things. All right. So the topic is attracting like-minded coaches and customers. And so we had a few examples. Lee, do you want to take it? Well, yeah, you want to take it here, and then I'll go over kind of how I did mine, or you want to go over yours first?
Okay. So, well, let me pull mine up then. Why don't you do yours first?
Okay. I don't know what y'all are seeing. Oh, this one. Okay. Okay, so 3 things came to mind too when we were talking about this topic. And one of them was, when you make a post on your personal or on your like page or whatever, and you start inviting people to join your team or to I also say to be a client, because a lot of the people don't really start the coaching thing first. They're a client, and then they go to that. So either way, they're attracted to you for some reason. And so one of the first things that I always try to think about when I make a post like this, inviting to the coaching opportunity, or talking about my team, or talking about Beachbody and how it's changed my life, is I try to come up with a connection, like, to me, like, quotes are a big deal to me. Like, I've always, as long as I can remember, I've always had quotes like all over the place. And so this is me. And this was one that I was talking about. This one was, we had done a masterminding call with some of our team, and I've just felt it in my soul. And this is what came to mind, and I posted it, and I tagged everybody in it. And so, you know, when you tag people in your post, when you speak from the heart, and you really connect with them, or try to connect with them from your heart, they will see this and be like, oh, I want to be a part of that too, because I feel the same way. And then I shared, you know, why I felt like that, what we were doing. And then the last thing is, you know, I asked them, give them a call to action. So the connection was kind of the quote here. The sharing part was what we did and why. And then the third was to ask. And I just said, we're always looking for others to join our team who strive for a purpose. Message me for information. And then I did another quote. So that was just one of the ones that, and then I've done, and I don't know about you, Lee, but I usually try to do one of these once a week. Probably should do it more than that.
Yeah.
For the coaching opportunity. So this was another one I did. You do twice a week?
I think once or twice a week is good. I know I've fallen off recently in doing it, but once or twice a week is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more that you get it in front of the people, like, it's, and I know a lot of people, and I know myself included, when I first started doing this, I was worried that people would get tired of seeing it, or get tired of seeing my just selfie, whatever, my page. But the people who you're going to attract are going to appreciate it, and they're going to keep connecting with you, and they're going to keep seeing those posts, and it's going to spark something in them eventually. This was another one I made, just one of my pictures, and found this quote. Thought it went perfect. And then I talked about my story and how my coaching journey has changed my life, a little bit about my transformation, and didn't even use a picture, you know. And then I said, if you're like these bulleted points, if you are any of these things, then I'd love to have you join our sneak peek. And so that was that one. This was another quote, talking about a team call that we had just had that was totally awesome and inspiring. So I talked about that, and talked a little bit about also about my history, like my story before, and how I was before Beachbody came into my life. And then I also, you know, always give them a call to action. This one I actually used a before and after picture. And, you know, if you're posting before and after pictures, you don't always have to post it in your sports bra and bikini or whatever. Like, you can post it, because this is real life. Mm-hmm. And I should have posted the one of me and Kimber, my oldest daughter. She was riding a horse, and we were at the fair, and I was like smiling in the picture. And the post said, you know, I was not happy in this picture at all, even though it looks like it. And then I went on to tell about how the Beachbody family and the transformation changed my life, yada, yada. So same thing here, connected with people who probably could relate to, I talked about my anxiety, depression, all those kinds of things, working full-time, mom, baby's close, all those things that connect with people who I'm trying to reach, and who, you know, we will make a connection and eventually be good coaches. And then I ask at the end of it, I give them a call to action and tell them I'm looking for 3 people. So those were mine. Those were a couple of my good ones that that I wanted to share.
Okay, and let me screenshot.
Okay. It's off of mine, right?
Yeah, it's off yours. Hang on, it's not showing me. Why is it not showing that?
You have to pull up the PDF.
Yeah, I have it as a PDF, or the PDF viewer, and it's just showing me something else. So let me pull it up a different way. Hold on.
I had to pull mine up, as I've got it here too, if you want me to pull it open.
Okay. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can. All right, let me see if that'll share. Yep. I don't know why it wouldn't let me share the other. Strange. Okay. Can you guys see that? See if I can blow it up.
Slowly, yes.
There we go. Okay, so I have a couple of them. I do different ones from time to time. I use a lot of similar wording. That way, what I do is I have one or two of the originals posted in my phone. So if I'm, stuck away from home, or I spend a lot of the time with my kids away from my laptop because it's upstairs, and so I have to have everything accessible on my phone. So I keep it in little text files on my phone. And that way I can copy it and paste it into, Facebook or wherever I'm pasting it, and then just kind of edit it as needed. But I made this quick picture on Canva, and it was just, just trying to help people see outside the box just a little bit, that they can actually work from home instead of being stuck either scraping by, trying to make ends meet, or being stuck in a day job where they're not home with their family. And so I typically, tell them a little bit about my life at home. But this was just kind of more of I was trying to be more professional in this one, and just invite them to the actual 3-day sneak peek to kind of get their interest going. Most of the time, though, I'll post things like this where they actually get to see my life and how it is and who I'm dealing with all day. And it's my daughter, and she's my why. And so I talk a little bit about my why down below, and the things we get to do, that being a stay-at-home mom and working from home allows us the freedom to go places. So here I used Chloe, and I was telling Brett the other night, I said, do I need to, give her royalties? Because I use her a lot. But this is just another one, just trying to relate more to some of the stay-at-home moms, where obviously my house is not always clean. There's toys all over the place, but we get to spend time together and just kind of enjoy each other. And usually at the end, I have some sort of a call to action, just saying more or less, wherever you're struggling, this might be a good opportunity for you. So, either check our 3-day sneak peek out and see if this would be a good fit. I liked one that Melissa did. This is one of my coaches, and she was doing something similar where she was talking about freedom and how this gives her the ability to go outside and just kind of do what she needs to do with her kids, that her office can go with her wherever she wants. And then Valerie did a nice one too, where she showed her before and after and how much the business has actually changed her life, and how they've changed a lot of their habits. And, each one of them gives some sort of a call to action at the end. And then Valerie also did this one where she correlated it back to her family, because her daughter's been sick all week. And so she was saying how grateful she is that she can be at home and have a flexible schedule. And that she's just really thankful for the fact that coaching allows her the opportunity to, be there for her children. So those are just, some of the different ways. I like the diversity between ours and the way Amy does things with the picture words as well. And, there's lots of different ways to do this. But the main thing is to share, the benefits of coaching, because it affects all our lives in different ways. It's not always just income. Sometimes it's freedom. Sometimes it's emotional support. I know that through the coaching opportunity, I haven't had nearly as many wholesome friends as I did before I started coaching. I was surrounded by a lot of negativity, and so this has given me, a neater view on life, being surrounded by a lot more positive positive reinforcement daily. So, there's all sorts of different avenues that you can connect coaching with that are going to interest other people because they're going through, something similar. So the main thing is just don't be afraid to share it.
Yeah.
And I think it is good to talk about because before I started coaching, I was surrounded by a lot of negative people. So there was a huge fear, and that's part of the reason why I was a coach for 4 years and I was not doing very well the first 2.5, because I was really worried about what other people were going to say. And I had a few snippy people who would come on my page and they would try to debunk anything positive that I would say. And so it just kind of undermined everything. And I had to have a come to Jesus moment where I had to realize that they don't get a say in my life. And I just finally had to, cut the cord and be okay with that. And once I did that, my life turned around completely. I had way more confidence. I wasn't afraid to post things. I mean, there's that initial fear, but it was much easier to get over that initial fear and write things out and be okay with just being myself and posting. And so if you have those people in your life, don't be afraid to cut that cord. Sometimes you have to do that just for your own personal safety and sanity.
Absolutely. Yep. One of my biggest inspirations, speaking of not caring about anything, in this business, as far as coaches, Amy Silverman. I check her account. I check her Instagram every night before I go to bed, because that just gives me, she's amazing. She doesn't give a flying flip about anybody or anything that they think about her. She just does her thing. And she's the top 2 coach right now. They're living in Puerto Rico, and like living her dream, living his dream. And she's just incredible because she came from, if you are not familiar with her, you guys, y'all look her up, because she has quite the story and she's come a long way. And it's one of those things that I can relate a lot to her, because she posts a lot of inspirational things in photography, and, I connect with her on that level. But she just doesn't care. And I'm like, I want to be that fearless, because I used to be that way. And somewhere down the line, I lost that. So watching her and then doing the personal development has helped me as well, if you're feeling that fear. But here's somebody who, and she doesn't put up with any crap. I mean, if somebody posts something negative on her page, and even all the top coaches will tell you this is my page. You're not going to post your negative stuff. And, 3 years ago, well, how long have I been? 2 years. I worked at a marketing agency for 3.5 years. Marketing's my background. And when Facebook 2 years ago, if we were working a page for a client and somebody posted something negative on their Facebook page, we were taught, and we taught them not to delete it, to address it on the page, because if you delete it, it looks like you're hiding something. Mm-hmm. And that was for businesses, of course. And now I look back and I'm like, we shouldn't have been doing that. That was their business page. And it goes the same as for us. Like, they don't have to put up with that, just like we don't have to put up with the negativity. But anyway, enough about that. So yeah, don't worry about what people think, because you want to attract the like-minded people. And the like-minded, even if they don't like your post, even if you post this long thing, trust me, because it's happened to me 1,000 times. If you post this long thing inviting to the coaching opportunity and you get 1 like and it's your success partner, then, or your husband, it's okay, because I promise you people are seeing that. And as long as you continue and you're consistent with posting the same kinds of things and sharing you and what it does for you, people are going to come back. One of my coaches actually had told me, I made some post, and she and I are a lot alike, had a lot of the same background things with anxiety. And I didn't even know she was watching my page. And she said she'd been watching me, I think, for like a year. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she came to me, and then she's one of my coaches now. So you never know when that person, it's really going to hit home, and you're going to help their heart and help, get them started and change their life. So the coaching thing is just like the transformation. I mean, it's incredible. The opportunity is just, like Lee said, I haven't met, in all of my life, like some of the people including Lee, just met the wholesome, positive people have your back. And I mean, Lee and I have met once. So, it's just an incredible thing. And you have to share it. I mean, you just have to pay it forward and share it and invite people to join you, because you wouldn't be sitting here listening to this if you didn't believe the same thing.
Yeah.
So what else?
So I think it's
Jessica, how about
okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I think it's good to share the coach opportunity, or at least some little snippet about how coaching has improved your life, at least once or twice a week. And then, also don't be afraid to throw in your how using or do a transformation post as well. So at least once or twice a week, because as the way Facebook posts, people, not everyone is being engaged with that same post as often as you think they are. So it's nice to have a few of those kind of intermixed with all the other things that you're posting. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. You don't have to have a long story each time, but just a little bit. Like I have one where you can see the difference in my face from start to beginning. There's another one where I think it's with my kids, and just little bitty, transformations. And I think it's okay to throw it out there at least once or twice a week, just to inspire somebody and help them to see what the potential is. And it's part of your story as well. But you were saying before I interrupted you, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, pretty much the same thing. Jessica's a new coach, and I think we have a few on here that are new coaches. You may not have the long thing like Lee and I do, because you haven't been doing it as long. Or maybe you do. Maybe, I know me, if you know my story, I started coaching 4 days into my program. Had no clue what it meant. Had no clue what the compensation plan was. Had no idea what Success Club was. My coach put me in Coach Basics, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. I just wanted to share my story, and that's what I did. And here I sit. So don't overthink it. Lee and I talk about that in Coach Basics. Just don't overthink it. Just really share from your heart. Type it out. And, a lot of my posts that I make like that, I'm with Lee. I have a few that I use, and I may use the exact same wording, or I may switch it up a little bit. But all of those that I use were like, they came to me in that moment, and I had to sit down and type it out and get it out. And when that hits you, just get it on paper, on your computer, on your phone, whatever, and share it when you feel the need, because there's no right time. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just speak from your heart, and you'll attract those other people who can relate to that. And you will.
Yep.
So. Any questions, or Lee, you got anything else?
I don't think so. Just make sure you're being yourself, and that you're just doing your best to help. And that's all we can really ask. I mean, you're going to draw people to you just because you're being helpful. So it doesn't matter really what you're posting, as long as it's from you and it's from the heart. So.
Yeah, I've got a flashback, the thing how Facebook shows you what you posted a year, 2, 3 years ago, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I got a flashback, I don't know, I think it was last week. And it was one of my very first coach invite posts that I posted. And it was directly copied from some other coach. And I look at it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so not me. Because I would never post like half the stuff that I posted in that now. Because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So yes, definitely, especially if you're newer or if you have not made one of these posts yet, just speak from your heart and just let it flow and hit send, submit, whatever it is on Facebook, and do it.
I was guilty of that. I had the little, the one mistake that I made was not being in a lot of my photos. And the more I listened to some of the top coaches, they were always talking about, you need to be, you're representing you need to be in your photographs. So when I would post about a challenge group, I would have like the latest Beachbody challenge pack there, and it would be very addy, it would be very infomercial like. And so it was a big turnoff to people, and I wasn't trying to turn them off. I just know what I've seen on television, and I was correlating that would work through Facebook, and it totally doesn't.
No.
So the best course of action that I've taken since then is changing it and being in a lot of my photographs now and showing what I'm doing, showing the changes that I'm making, showing the food that I'm making. You know, even if you slip up, showing, you know, a photo of you being a bonehead and you know what you did wrong. And people can really connect with you because it's very personable that way. And so they get to see the real you. And when you make that personal connection, that's where everything kind of kicks off from there. So, you know, the less adsy you can be, the better. And just be yourself. And it'll all come together.
That's another thing you said, being in the pictures. That's Amy Silverman also does that. Like almost every picture that she posts, she's in it. And it may just be some landscape picture with the back of her. And she's got a quote and she's got an invite, a call to action. I love the way she does that because people know her. Like of course, she's top 2 coach. She is a celebrity, you know, in the Beachbody world, or in our coaching world. But it's true because she's getting in front of these people so that they do recognize her and know her style and feel her through her posts, basically. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be working out. You don't have to post a selfie. You don't have to post anything of transformation photo either. You know, I mean, just post just you, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I mean, even if we were sitting on this team call, you could do a screenshot and post that, you know, and share what that's done for you. Just don't overthink it and get creative. And I know another thing, you know, just like posting on Facebook, if you just feel inspired by throughout the day, just take a bunch of pictures and keep them in your photo album. And when you're stuck, just go back to one of those pictures and remember how you felt when you took that picture. It could be a picture of your kids or your dog or the sunset or whatever. And just share, just don't overthink it. But all right. Anybody have anything or have any successes with posting the coaching opportunity or inviting to things like that you want to share?
Still just trying to take it all in at this point. It's very interesting for me because my lifestyle was so sedentary for so long. So now here I am, I'm more involved with church, I'm more involved with exercise. By the grace of God, I beat cancer. And so I even had to change a lot of the people that I was talking to as well. So it's like, okay, who am I supposed to target? Who am I supposed to reach out to? And then the other thing for me is I love Beachbody. But I wonder if I would be coming under scrutiny because I'm new in my journey and I am 300 plus pounds. So I'm wondering, would anyone even want to go into coaching with me? Because it's like, okay, you're a coach. What's going on here? Even though you can explain the lifestyle, you can explain the journey, how much better I feel, how much more mobility that I have even. They're looking at the fact this is a large lady and she's a Beachbody coach. Okay, gotcha. So that's the thing that if any of that makes any sense, that's what I'm trying to work through with this. So that's the issue.
I think you made your connection because you've already started your transformation at this point and you've started making healthy choices. So that automatically sets you up to help other people. And the size is regardless at this point, and it's besides the point. If you get into it to where somebody is being judgmental, then that's their problem, not yours. But there are plenty of women and other coaches who have started out their health journey in a similar position. And you never know whose life you're going to touch. So I wouldn't worry about, being particular in who you're going to invite. It's okay to just go ahead and put your, little quick invite out to them and see if it's something that they'd even be interested in. But the point is, you're asking for them to join you in this journey and help hold you accountable. And that's, that's a great thing because that helps not only you, but it helps them too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, you're going to attract people. I remember I did whatever, I forget which training it was that I've done with Beachbody through our team. But I think it was maybe the diamond training, but they told us, and these were some of the top coaches, some of the most successful coaches in the company were telling us to, I think that's where it's from, whatever, it works. Think about who you were when you started, and that is your market. So for me, and then you'll tweak it as you have to, because for me, I was postpartum, I had postpartum depression. I was on anxiety medicine. I was 30 plus pounds overweight, frustrated, overwhelmed, business owner, mom of two, like all these things. But some of that I've had to tweak a little bit because there is some negativity that comes with the postpartum and the anxiety, and some of that stuff I can't help because I didn't relate as much. I wasn't on the levels that some of the people that have reached out to me were or are. So you'll find that. So think of people who were in your situation, who beat cancer, thank God. So I don't even know you, but that's amazing.
Thank you.
Who are overweight and had led the lifestyle like you did, sedentary, like you said. Talk about the mobility. Talk about you and like the things that you've gotten. Make you a list and then speak from your heart. And even if you just talk about one thing at a time, people will, because if you try to do it all, you might feel a little fearful and you might, kind of hold back on the post. But just think about the top three things that this business has done for you so far. Yes. And the programs and the Shakeology or whatever it is that you're working on, and just go with it, because you'll attract.
I would say as you're posting daily on the little things that you're doing to improve your lifestyle, people are going to also connect the dots and see that you are being consistent. And then I don't think there's going to be a problem with even reaching out to somebody and them knowing that you're a coach. You're being proof, on your Facebook page. You're showing who you are and what you're doing. So, and that's, the most important thing we teach everybody, because we've, been there and not posted some things that weren't quite us. And when you finally start honing in and doing showing what you are doing, that's when people really start to be drawn to you and connected.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Gotcha. It makes sense. I just have to get out of my own head.
Yeah.
When I do that, I think things will be a whole heck of a lot better as well. So, because I talk every day. So.
Yeah.
Well,
and the more you post and the more you do it, the easier it'll get.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And you'll have, just like Lee said, there will be people that try to, beat you down and bug in posts and the negativity, because that's just life. We're human. That just happens. But you have to remember to rise above all that and remember where you are and remember that you're better than that, and it is their problem, not yours. So
absolutely. That is true.
This business, you just can't take it personal.
And there is the power of the delete button.
Right. Very true. Very true. Yes.
You'll do great, though.
Okay.
Well, does anybody else have any other questions before we get ready to go?
Not at all. Because I know that I'm sure I'm going to have more questions after this, but I'll just be jotting things down and reaching out to you guys. So
absolutely, use the Coach Basics group and ask away. So absolutely. Here to help you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Well, you're welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm really out of my comfort zone, but it's a good type. So, yeah, I love this. So,
yeah. Awesome. What program are you doing?
I'm doing size for now.
Oh, you love it?
I love size because I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I love it. I absolutely love it. Sean T is something else. Yeah, when I'm not laughing, I'm cussing at him. So, yeah, but it's a good program. I love it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, good. Congratulations. Good for you. Keep going.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah.
Good deal. All right. Well, Lee, you have your big debut, don't you? Go.
I do. A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's going to be a big group. All right.
You'll do good.
I hope so. I hope there won't be any screaming kids downstairs distracting me. So,
No.
but all right, everybody. Well, you have a good evening.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Nice